I was fainting all the time.
We really don't have any tests, to diagnose it with.
No one knew what to tell me. I wasn't making it all up.
It takes about 11 years to diagnose a patient.
And I'm saying, well, what about my pain?
I was realizing that there's a possibility that I wouldn't be able to have kids.
Situations like this complicate things when you love someone almost as much as you love yourself.
Halsey and G-Eazy's relationship was pretty tumultuous.
We would kill for each other. We would die for each other.
What makes me seek relationships with people who I need to take care of?
Well, everyone's just gonna say, well, she's crazy, irresponsible, untrustworthy, unreliable.
She is a lot to deal with.
You know what? I'm done. I think the heartbreak was a breaking point.
I finally got my diagnosis.
How could I have missed this?
Only 2% of women living with this condition can get pregnant.
And it was devastating.
And you're supposed to get over it. I still wake up every day and I'm scared. That fear it's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life.
I woke up in so much pain. I was bleeding so much. I was so sick. I managed to get to a bathroom, and a couple minutes later, I woke up on the floor. I pulled myself up, and I walked back out, collapsed in the street.
I had a miscarriage. I was 20 years old. I didn't even know I was pregnant.
I didn't think that having a family was something that I was going to be able to do.
And it's something that is very important.
Very important to me.
I remember laying on a bed in a hotel room with a towel between my legs, bleeding and staring at my managers. And I remember them looking at me and saying, this concert's kind of a big deal. So I took a Percocet and I put on an adult incontinence diaper and I performed.
Halsey was used to performing through the pain with no help.
I'd had painful periods my whole life. I was kind of told it's just something women in our family deal with.
No one knew what to tell me. Dehydration, stress, anxiety, and I'm saying, well, what about my pain? A lot of the time, they can make you think it's in your head.
I was told I was sensitive or overdramatic.
For years, Halsey doubted themselves because of their illness.
I had been committed in my late adolescence.
Rolling Stone reveals her suicide attempt at age 17 when she tried to overdose on mostly over-the-counter painkillers. Regretted it immediately, told her parents, wound up in a psychiatric hospital for 17 days and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
I had really struggled with my mania. It was the worst part of me. I considered that girl, the manic one, irresponsible and untrustworthy, unreliable.
We define ourselves based on how the people around us see us.
Everyone's just gonna say, well, she's crazy. She's probably having a breakdown.
Halsey used their music as an escape, but not everyone was happy with their choices.
Singer Halsey reveals her parents kicked her out for dropping out of college to pursue music, saying, quote, they just didn't agree with a lot of things about me.
My friends were picking out decorations for their dorms, and I was homeless in New York.
She states, I remember one time I had $9 in my bank account and bought a 4-pack of Red Bull and used it to stay up overnight because it was less dangerous to not sleep than it was to sleep somewhere random and maybe get raped or kidnapped.
But they never gave up, and it soon paid off.
From living on the streets to Grammy-nominated, Halsey is reaching new levels of stardom.
There's nothing more special than hearing your song playing in the back of a car or in a store, and it's been a really, really tough year, but I hope that somehow this song made the summer a little bit better for you guys.
But they couldn't let go of their dream of being a mom.
I'm a caretaker. That's like my thing. I think a lot of people maybe see me as like the rebellious, like punky, loud, spontaneous girl, but I'm really maternal. I'm so the mom friend. I take care of a lot of people.
But when Halsey got devastating news from the doctor, their dream was shattered.
When I finally got my endometriosis diagnosis, and it was so bittersweet because it was like the relief of knowing I wasn't making it all up. And I wasn't being sensitive, and it wasn't all in my head.
Halsey didn't doubt their pain anymore, but there was a heartbreaking truth to their diagnosis.
To know that I was going to be living with this forever.
I was realizing that there's a possibility that I wouldn't be able to have kids. Everyone wanted to know, does this mean I was infertile? What is endometriosis?
It's a condition where the lining that's typically inside of your uterus gets outside of your uterus, but breaking down and bleeding.
You just feel so terrible about yourself. You're sick, you don't feel sexy, you don't feel proud, you don't feel like there's much hope.
I still wake up every day and I'm scared. That fear it's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. Everybody is going to give up on me because I'm a lot easier to deal with when I'm healthy than I am when I'm sick.
But Halsey threw themselves into a toxic relationship.
I distracted myself by helping other people, and that made me feel good.
We would kill for each other. We would die for each other.
G-Eazy was reportedly arrested for cocaine possession and assault.
If I could fix a problem in someone else, it
It was a temporary fix as opposed to fixing that problem within me.
And of course, you know, situations like this complicate things when you love someone almost as much as you love yourself, maybe more.
What makes me seek relationships with people who I need to take care of or who aren't going to give back?
Halsey had put their trust in the wrong person.
The graffiti said, "I'm so sorry, I cheated."
How could I have missed this? Everything was so good. I think the heartbreak was a breaking point. It wasn't until a time of need when I really needed a support system that I looked around and then went, none of these people know how to help me because they've never had to before. Because they're just so used to me taking care of them.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm done. And I cut a lot of people out of my life.
And I had to sit down and do like a self-reflection. What am I really like when I'm manic? And the answer is, I am loving, I am passionate, I am open to anyone who wants to come into my life and be a part of it. I can be a bit irresponsible, yeah. I can be impulsive, but mostly I'm going through every second of my day being entirely led by emotion rather than logic.
That's also when I make my best art. It's the version of me that has given me everything that I have.
Learning to trust themselves, Halsey started putting themselves first.
I have many doctor's appointments. She told me that, you know, because of my treatment and because of whatever, the steps that I was taking to better myself as a person, I could start a family. And I was really moved because it wasn't something I thought was a possibility for a really long time. You know, all of a sudden, everything I'm thinking about is different. I'm not gonna go tore myself to death because I have nothing else to do and I'm overcompensating for not being able to have this other thing that I really want. Now I have a choice.
Halsey proved that they could have their dream life no matter what.
The person that I hope I become isn't too far off from the person that I already am right now.
Halsey is bursting with love after revealing she's pregnant.
Hopefully I'm a really great mom, like an awesome one.
Halsey took to Instagram writing, "Gratitude for the most rare and euphoric birth, powered by love."
It's been such an amazing journey watching my body and my mind change so quickly and learning how important it is to take care of myself and to pay attention to myself.